So it's time for an upgrade on my backup solar power system here, and I'm replacing my 1500 watt inverter with this new PowMr 2000 watt 12 volt solar off-grid power inverter. Been using it for about a month now, so I'll tell you all about it and we'll test it out. All right, folks, welcome back. So I'm going to give you a little information on the old inverter that I had here. There is nothing wrong with it. It still works. I'm probably going to put it in my Faraday bag in my other storeroom, and that's this guy here. And yeah, it had a big, pretty LCD screen and all that. And, you know, I mean, it worked fine. Didn't do anything wrong, but it had less power. This is a 1500 watt inverter, and while I don't have enough battery or solar panel to run 2000 watts in here continuously for months on end, I probably have enough to run about 800 to 1000 watts continuously without any worry with my solar panels out there. This currently is on about it's on two 100 watt panels with a 200 amp hour deep cycle battery, a LifePo 4 battery, and I wanted to get something a little bit bigger just for items that have a bigger surge. Now, here's another interesting thing about this. I could not find the surge capacity on this inverter anywhere, but I'm not going to be going over 2000 watts on it, so I'm really not all that stressed out about that. I know pretty much I'm going to be sticking around 2000 watts with this, so no worries on that. This did have a 3000 watt surge. I assume this has something similar to it, and I will probably end up finding out one day, but we are going to test it out. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about this thing because I've been using it now for about a month. I do have it installed. It's very easy to install. It's got the blocks on the back. You know, you just take the blocks off, put in your things, screw them on there, you're good to go. Another interesting thing about this is where the power switch is. You'll notice there is no power switch on the front. The power switch is located in the back here. And it's going to beep when you turn it on. I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's going to beep for a long time. That's normal, okay? The fan's going to run a little bit. Okay? And it's going to, you notice it's going from one thing to the other. It's going from, you know, how much it's drawing right now to the voltage, which is 14.1 volts. The fan will eventually shut off, and you will have your inverter ready to use. Now, it does have a optional remote monitoring tool here. It doesn't come with this inverter. However, this inverter for a pure sine wave 2000 watt inverter is very reasonably priced. Okay, I remember a time where a 400 watt pure sine wave inverter was like $500. This one is $189. And I think it was actually cheaper than this one. And, you know, for that kind of power, I really can't complain. I do like the fact that it doesn't have all the extra bells and whistles on it that could drain the power. It's just got a simple LED screen here. Tells me what's going on. That's all I really need to know. So I'm going to shut it off. It will beep when you shut it off again. And that's it. So pretty simple. It's got 2000 watts continuous power, converts 12 volt DC battery into standard 110 volt AC with a high conversion rate, higher than 90%. It does have a pure sine wave output, okay? So it delivers grid-like AC quality, okay? A chip controls and maintains stable output, protecting you from any kind of load or potential damage. So when it gets over its load, it will just shut off. Doesn't make any funny noises, doesn't do anything weird, it just shuts off. I know because I overloaded it once already and it just shuts off, and that will keep going. You'll keep blinking between voltage and that, it'll just say 0. So definitely nice that it has that protection. It does have 2 AC outlets on the front. It does have 2 USB chargers on the back here. I'm going to take you in to show them to you really quick. Let me move you in here real quick. You have a Type-C and a regular USB right there. 2.1 amp USB Type-C. And I'm a 2.1 amp USB and the Type-C as well. So it really can meet all your diverse charging needs. Another neat thing about this, and I will show you this in a minute, this doesn't need to be turned on to use those. I'm going to take our little light here. Okay, I'm going to plug this thing in here. And let's take a look and see what happens. So you see, we got light. And that's actually kind of handy. I'm probably going to keep it here because when the power's out, it sure would be nice to be able to see what's going on. So that will continuously run without being turned on or off. So that's kind of handy too. And the USB-C is a nice thing there too if you have a phone that charges that way. USB-C to USB-C. So now the cool part is the safety protections in it. low voltage protection, high voltage protection, overload, output short circuit protection, and over temperature protection. Now the fan on this will run quite liberally, okay? When you are running this, it will run, when it doesn't even feel hot, it will run. It will turn itself on and then turn itself off. I assume that is to prevent overheating, keep the components cool before they get too hot. And that's kind of neat on there. So you know you'll have a good long life out of this thing. Another nice thing too is it's bright orange. If you're in the dark somewhere, you know, I have the other one there that's pitch black, and then this one's silver with the black front. This will really stand out very well, especially if you're in here with a flashlight looking around. It does have a nice little bright kind of output to it. So this is compatible with LiFePO4, sealed lead acid, flooded gel, and lithium batteries. Any kind of battery you're going to use on this, it will work as long as it's a 12-volt battery, because this is a 12-volt inverter. So what I want to do is kind of test the power output. First, we're going to check the sine wave on it and make sure it's a pure sine wave. Now, I know it is, but I'm going to show you guys. And then we're going to run something really high drain on it and see how well that works. One of the biggest problems I have here is holding these in here and not letting it fall out. Anyway, there's your waveform on it. Nice and smooth. Here's a pure sine wave inverter. No problems with that whatsoever. I don't see any kind of bumps or peaks in that. So that is really, really cool. Now, why is that important? Well, if you're going to be running sensitive electronics on this, say computers, stuff like that, you're going to want that. You're going to want that kind of pure, clean AC power instead of a modified wave inverter where it's going to be a little bit more rough on your electronics, your motors, stuff like that. So that's kind of handy too. And like I said, there was a time where an inverter like this, you know, being pure sine wave, probably would have cost upwards of a couple $1,000s. And it wasn't that long ago. I was like, back when I used to watch YouTube but not do videos, it was really shocking to me. Everybody's like, you have to get a pure sine wave inverter. And I looked at the prices and I'm like, are you kidding me? I need to mortgage my house to get one. So it's very, very handy with that. So what we're going to try next is I'm going to plug in my hot plate, and I know that draws over 1,000 watts. And that's going to be the general range for my use for this device. So we're going to see how well it works, and we're going to see what it looks like under load. Now, the fan will run on it, so don't freak out over that. That's okay. But we're going to see how it runs. So let me get that out, and we'll try it out. All right, so as you can see, I've got the hot plate here, and I've got it plugged in there. I don't recommend you hold a hot plate for too long. We're just testing the power output on this. We're going to turn it all the way up. Okay. And of course, there you go, 1,057 watts, 13.85. The panels are charging it. 1,056. I hope you can see that on camera. There you go, 1,056. And it is getting warm. So it's doing its job. Definitely cool. All right, let's shut it off, and we'll finish up the video, and I'll tell you where you can pick it up and more info on it. Now, given that there really isn't much info on a screen somewhere for this, you're going to have to know what's going on with your battery. So like I said, the green one will be your power on. The little lightning bolt there will show you when it's lit. We'll show you what it's drawing, and we saw that when it was drawing 1,056 watts. And the I over here, this line, is your fault. Okay, so when that lights up, there'll be a code displayed on here on this screen, and you can refer to your manual, and it will tell you what the fail codes are or the fault codes are. All in all, I'm really impressed with this. This does come in 24 volt if you want it. It does come in a 1200 watt version. I'm going to link to this direct one, but by all means, check out everything else on their site. I have been very pleased with their equipment so far. As you notice, let me move this out of the way. I am running a PowMr MPPT charge controller back on this system, and that thing has been in service now for about a year without any issues. I do like the fact that when it gets warm in this garage, that starts the fan up. Okay, that's very handy to have. So we're going to give you a little information on this. Your rated voltage on this, of course, is 12 volts. Rated current, 210 amps. Maximum efficiency is 92%. Battery type can be a lead acid, lithium, gel cell, whatever. Your rated power is 2,000 watts, and like I said, I could not find the max, the surge current on it. So it's 2,000 watts. You're going to have 60 hertz for frequency, and it is a pure sine wave inverter. For $189, you really can't go wrong with something like that. Like I said, I've had it in service out here for about a month, and it's done its job, done what it's supposed to do. And when I've used it, we've actually lost power here a couple times in the last month for short term. The power company is also going to be offering fiber optic internet. So they'll take down the power line so they can run the fiber, and they let you know ahead of time, but it's usually for about 20 or 30 minutes. And the one time it was for a little bit longer, I did run it, and it worked very, very well. I was able to power everything up out here. As a matter of fact, I shot a video with it running in the background over there on my desk while the power was out. So I really had no issues with it whatsoever so far, and I think it's a well-constructed, decent little unit. And if you don't need all the bells and whistles and screens, to me, honestly, I want something that's a workhorse, that doesn't have a bunch of stuff that could possibly fail. I like it. Now, am I going to keep my old one here? Of course. I'm going to keep it. I'd be silly not to. It's a 1500 watt inverter. It's a decent inverter. Nothing wrong with it, but this has more power, a little less things that can go wrong with it. And if something happens to it, I have my 1500 watt backup. Anyway, folks, that's the video for today. I will leave a link down below where you can check this stuff out. You definitely want to check out their stuff. PowMr is pretty decent gear. I have to say, in all the reviews I've seen on it, it's not caused anybody major issues. It hasn't failed on anybody, especially the people who like take things apart or test them to breakage. It's done really well for those folks too. So the link will be down below. Definitely check it out. Don't forget to check out our Amazon store as well. Underneath that, our Amazon store has all the stuff that we use in the channel. This won't be in it because this is on their site. But if you're interested in purchasing anything off of that, that's great. If not, just click the link. Shop as you normally would on Amazon. We really do appreciate when you do that. We have our freeze-dried wholesaler link. I have some more videos coming up for that soon. I've got my big order coming in, so I'll show you what I picked up. And lots of stuff is back in stock again. So definitely check them out. My link will save you 15%. If you're looking to stock up on food, now's the time to do it using that link. Okay, below that is our My Patriot Supply link. That's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. All sorts of deals going on there this month. We have our 3-month kit. There's 2-week kits, 4-week kits, tons of prepper gear. If you're interested in checking out the rest of the site, because I know my site just highlights the food, just click on one of those links, and one of the 3-month or 3-week kit, or 4-week kit or 3-month kit, just click on one of those links, head on into the site, and you'll definitely see a whole ton of stuff from My Patriot Supply. And below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Don't forget, we have some July specials going on there right now. There's also some closeout specials as well, stuff that's going on sale because we're not going to be carrying anymore. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.